talked about the quality of saves with Steph last night. Is that as good an individual performance that you've seen from him? He was so dynamic last night.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I'd have to obviously go back and watch film.
I don't want you to do that.
Yeah, but in recent memory, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Because if you look at the goalkeepers that we've had at this club, they've been pretty outstanding. Starting with Keller, Geschbernig, now Steph. I mean, we've been blessed with really, really good goalkeeping and good goalkeeping performances starting in 2009. So I think that one ranks up there with you know, the quadruple save by Keller and Geschbernig's contributions to the club. I mean, that was a good performance.
Ziggy used to say a lot that he felt like Steph was underrated and maybe not in the tier of the discussion of the top tier goalkeepers in the league, even though maybe he should be. Would you agree with that? And why do you think he's maybe not talked about in that context more?
Well, I would say that I believe that he's in the top tier. So that answers half your question. I would venture a comment that, you know, our goalkeeper coach Tom Dutra might be undervalued. I mean, he had Keller, he had Geschbernig, now he has Frei, and Steph's come along nicely from, you know, I'd hate to say like a project from Toronto, but I mean, he came to us, and you know, Tommy's done a really good job of pushing Steph to be his best. And that's what we as coaches need to focus on, you know, getting the maximum out of our players. So I think Steph is great. I think Tommy does a fantastic job. And I think it showed in the performance last night.
Do you think your attack needs to find another gear if you guys are to make a deep run in the playoffs here?
We're talking about that, Matt. I mean, our touches are down, you know, between Jordan and Ladero. You know, we're trying to figure that out. It's noticeable. So yes, we do, and yes, we're working on it. You know, some of it is personnel. I mean, when you lose Dempsey, Ivanchitz, you know, Brad coming on as a sub, not as a star, you lose some of it through personnel. But the personnel that we have must step up, and they know our system. They know our 4-2-3-1. Next guy up. You got to come up and you got to do your job. So we are working on it.
And Andreas, is he a possibility for this weekend?
Not this weekend, no.
Okay.
Coach, is it an advantage or disadvantage having played a team like FC Dallas so recently?
I would say advantage because it was a competitive game. Like if we would have gone down there and got blown out, or you know, something bad would have happened, then there's a little chink in their armor and their psyche a little bit. But you know, through 80 minutes we, you know, played well. We had a couple of errors and cost us a game, but I think the team knows that they can play against Dallas, even though Dallas is a very good team, you know, Supporter Shield winners. So I think they can play against them.
Last thing on Steph, I mean, do you believe in the concept of riding a hot goalkeeper in the playoffs? I know it's a term that's thrown around a lot, maybe more in hockey than soccer.
Yeah.
But you hear that, especially, you know, this time of year. Do you buy into that, or is that
we're
just...
riding a hot team. I keep coming back to the team concept.
Okay.
Steph had a very good performance.
Okay.
There's other games where his teammates kind of carry him.
Okay.
So I think it's just, again, part of the team concept. The team believes they can win. The team believes in their teammates. So when one guy's having an off day, the other guy comes and, you know, picks him up.
You've mentioned your friendship or connection with Fernando Clavillo a couple times. What's the connection there? How do you guys know each
Well,
other?
we played with the San Diego Sockers way back in the 80s, and we lived right next to each other. And every day we went and had a cup of coffee before training. And it was good. We had some good times together. We won a lot of games, and, you know, had a lot of barbecues out on our patios after training and stuff. He's a really, really tremendous man.
Peter said after the game that you had come up to him and said that you thought that Ozzie should be sent off. Do you recall that conversation?
Here's the deal with that. I'm going to answer this as honestly as I can. We always control the controllables, okay? So whatever Pete says, that's his business. I can't address that, okay? What I can address is that this league is a tough league. Until there's some form of instant replay where we can go back and make calls correctly, whatever the opposing team, fans, whatever they say, emotional moment, whatever he's trying to get at, I can't control that. I mean, the fact of the matter is that referees have a tough job. They also make mistakes. And we live and die sometimes by their calls. But I'm sure if you look back on, I could go to our history with Sporting KC. I mean, I remember in the Open Cup final, Zach Scott has his arm like inside here, the ball hits him here, and they get a penalty. I mean, Zig never complained about that. So Pete did what he had to do. I got the utmost respect for Pete and what he does for his club. That's his business. My business is taking care of my guys.
But did you tell him that you thought Ozzie should get sent off?
No.
Coach, you employed the same starting 11 yesterday as you did last week. What do you think about that lineup and how they performed yesterday? And is that a possibility again moving on Sunday?
Sure. We're just trying to address all the walking wounded, and then we'll put a good lineup up on Sunday.
Dallas is still clearly a good team without Diaz, but how much does that change your game plan, knowing that he's not going to be there and after he did so much damage last time?
Not so sure it changes. I mean, we do not change our tactics for one guy, regardless of how good. I mean, could I put Christian Roldan to Mark Diaz 1v1 all over the field? That would be silly. So we don't tactically. It's a good team. Dallas is a good team. So they will miss him. How they played in LA, that's the stuff we're going to digest. What we think Oscar might do for this game, away from home, all of those things will come into play. But we're not going to change just because one guy's there or not.
The last two playoff series against them were so hard fought. It just kind of seemed like every single bounce could have went one way or the other. Do you expect a similar two-leg series this time around?
Sure, it's the playoffs. I mean, the first year we go through on Ozzie's away goal. Next year they beat us in penalties after Chad had, put us through on that corner kick from Papa. Their response after that was they tied it up to make it 2-1. We go to penalty kicks. It's been a good series. It should be a really tremendous series.
The TV broadcast said Clint was there last night. Did you interact with him at all, or did he talk to anybody on the team? Or
Yeah, he's part of the team. Comes in the locker room. That's his locker room too. He wants the team to win. Nothing. I don't know. I don't know why you're asking. He's part of the team. He's there. Yeah. He won't come out to train obviously because he can't train, but on games he's here.
Okay. Has he been around for most of the home games?
Yeah. Well, the ones that look, he's got a heart condition. When he's healthy, he's around the team. He wants to be part of the team.